Take two. Hi, cubies and newbies. I'm Sunshine. Good morning. This is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's Cube. Works on every complexity minx and every complexity cube. Formula A is 4 moves, Formula B is 8 moves. I'm using Twitch Studio, and they've discontinued support for Twitch Studio, so I'm not sure how much longer this is going to work. I've got to figure out, have my kid come over and help me figure out how to do it without the studio part of it. So, I overslept this morning. It's a sleepy morning for me, so Formula A, easy for me to say. Okay, Formula A is 4 moves, Formula B is 8 moves, Formula A brings piece to the top, Formula B moves 3 pieces around, and that's all you need to do to solve every complexity Rubik's Cube. Here's a 2x2, 3x3, 4x4, 5x5. This is a Whit-Eaton 3x3x9. The formulas work, A and B works on this cube as well. The difference being that there's a minor adaptation to an added step, and the added step is before you do the 3x3 side, you have to make sure that the center on the center on the middle row is going horizontal, so that we can do it that direction. And then when you get to the 9 side, in Formula B, instead of going left and right like so, every horizontal has to be 2 instead of 1. But other than that, that can solve. Excuse me. Hi, school bus. Hope you're happy today. I am not set up to Zoom today. But if you want, you can practice. You're very comfortable with Formula A. I want you to practice Formula B within your cube, just mirroring my hands, just copying my hands, not mirroring, when I'm doing Formula B, so you can get more comfortable with the Formula B. That will help you. So first you solve the corners. Once you have the corners solved, the 2x2 is done, and everything else, the corners dictate which color each face is now going to be. We used to work around the absolute center. That stopped being effective when we moved to larger cubes, because on the 3x3, every cube has one and only one correct place to be. When you move to the 4x4, when you start having oblique centers instead of just the absolute center, then these pieces can move around, and this piece is correct in one of 4 places rather than only one place. So with the center no longer being stable, the corners are stable, and the corners will always be stable. So you can do this any order of operation. There's no order of operations on cubes. You can do it every way you want. There's an order of operation on the minxes, in that the star pieces, you want to move the star pieces before the non-star pieces, because moving the star pieces affects more than just the 3 pieces you're moving. It affects the ancillary non-star pieces as well. So star before non-star on that one. So corners are done. That's what this one looks like. And then I did the opposite edges. Let me show you what that looks like. Actually, no. So, Formula A brings the corner columns, an outer and an inner column moves edges around, which moves a piece from the top front to the side front, either direction, depending on which direction you're going. So with the side edges, opposite edges done, white's going face down. White will be our visual clue for which columns we're working on now. And it will, okay, so the thing about A and B, they're commutators. For every left there's a right, for every up there's a down, so it's a mathematical 0, meaning it's not going to affect anything except for the pieces you're trying to affect. So with white face down, I'm going to start looking at the side edges. These ones some of them will be correct and some of them will not be. If any of them are correct, we're going to try to save that. But if they're not, none of them are correct, that's okay, we don't care. So we find a piece that's incorrect, and we're going to displace a piece into that spot. Okay? If I just find a piece that's wrong and throw it out to the middle. So if we move a yellow piece into this spot, then we'll have a piece on top that is not yellow that we can place with white face down. So again, it's Formula B, top row, first column and second column. First column, we follow the cube. The cube dictates what these two columns are. So move away, up, in, and where that cube landed is the second up. And then down and down. So this yellow is going to move boppity-boppity back and forth until the other yellow finds its way back to the top. When the other yellow finds its way back to the top, when we reassess. In the meantime, we're looking for piece on top. Piece on top is not the top color. White is face down. So cube on the top that's not yellow is this one. I'm ignoring the entire top face now, except for this piece at a time. So I'll rotate the top, hold the top, rotate the cube until the corners match the front, and then the top color determines which direction it's going. So the orange and green will not land above the orange and blue corner, it's going to land above the orange and green something corner. So this cubey wants to go over here. So first column, so top row, first column's where it's going to land, second column's where it begins. Yes, these are together, but I'm not going to try to preserve them at this phase. So slide up, slide down, slide down. Okay, and that piece is where it wants to be. The piece that was there moved to the top back, and so that's the piece we're going to move next. Hold the top row, corners to match the front. Going in the blue direction, so this way. Away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. The reason I'm not trying to keep those pairs together, because if there is a parity, you'll find it as you're doing the side edges. And I want if there's a parity, I want to force it to be on the same column, same slice of the cube, rather than next to each other. So that's why I'm only doing one slice at a time. So this cube is placed. Look for a piece on top that's not yellow. And hold the top, corners match the front. I forgot to show chat here, you guys. Hi, good morning. Thank you for joining me this morning. It's a beautiful sunshiny day where I am. I hope it is where you are. Okay, piece on top that's not yellow is green and red. Corners match the front. It's going in the red direction. So Formula B, top row and two columns. Away from the action, first up, in, second up, away, down, in, down. And as I said, the white's there to remind me which columns I'm on. So I don't get distracted in the middle of the formula. If I do get distracted in the middle of a formula, let's say the cat jumps on my lap, let's say I dropped the cube on accident, let's say someone said something to me and I lost track of what I was doing, the white on the bottom lines up to the top column to help me know which columns I'm working on. So hold the top column, corners to match the front, determine its direction, it's this way, away, up, in, second up, away, down, in, second, down. And because it's a commutator, only 3 pieces are ever moved, so the rest of the cube doesn't get affected. And while I'm waiting for the yellow to come to the top, because I'm always working in this column, this yellow is going to get bob back and forth to be in its correct spot or not in its correct spot until the other yellow comes to the top. So corners to match the front, going in this direction, away from the action up, into the action second up, and there it is placed, away from the action down, into the action down, and find a piece on top that's not yellow. Switch over to this one to show you. You find a piece on the side that's not correct, just place a yellow into it, up, up, down, down, piece on top that's not yellow, corners to match the front, going in this direction, slide up, down, down. Corners match the front, going in, oh, try it again, corners match the front, going in the blue direction. Slide up, slide down, slide down. And for as long as until the yellow comes back to the top, we just focus on the piece that is not yellow. Going in this direction, up, down, down. And yellow found its way back to the top. It does not have to be correct, just has to be back on the top layer. And so now we assess. Set the corners back, and this corner is correct, this side's correct, this side's correct, this side's correct, this one's not. So we have two pieces that are in the correct place, but they need to flip. Okay. Formula B moves a piece from the top front to the then as written to the front left. So I'm switching it up. I'm blue is my top color now. Or if I want to keep using yellow as the top color, I'll just do it this way. So I'm going to displace a yellow into this spot. It's going to be the yellow that's not correct yet. Okay. Formula up, down, down. Okay. And then looking for the piece on top that's not yellow, line it up and place it so that when there's a piece that's wrong, move it out and place it correctly, and the last two pieces switch. You can never switch, you can never flip just one piece because of the mathematics of the cube. So moving on, white is face down, we're looking for a piece on top that's not yellow. Bring the corners to the cube, so the corners match the front. Determine its direction. Slide up, slide down, slide down. Again, it's just top yellow. Okay, corners match the front. Determine its direction. Slide out, up, in, up, down, in, down. Other piece on top that's not yellow. Slide. It's going in this direction. Up. Now, if there's going to be a parity on your cube, it will happen during the stage where you're doing the side edges. So yellow came back to the top, so we're going to look here. This side's correct, this side's correct, this side's correct, this side's correct. And we have a parity, and because we've only working with one column at a time, we've forced that parity to be on the single slice. So I'm going to fix this parity by itself after I do the rest of the side edges. Okay, because we're going to do what works. So this parities are always caused by one thing and one thing only, and they're always undone by by a single quarter slice. So again, my centerpiece is lined up, so I'm going to keep it that way for until I finish the edges, which completes the cage. So this piece is correct. These two are not. So these two are the ones I'm going to move out of the way, move to the top by displacing yellows. Okay, and you can, in displacing, either work with one column at a time, or you can work with more columns, but only up to and including the center, not past the center. That way, that forces the parity to be in a single column rather than the last row is easier if you do that. So out, up, in, up, out, down, in, down. Okay, and we're going to now we're going to ignore the top, the yellow. We're going to ignore all of the yellows until yellow finds its way back to the top. Okay, which they will eventually. So again, these are going to bob back and forth. So here's find a piece that's not yellow. Corners match the front. It's going in this direction. These three are paired up, but again, we don't care. at this point in time. You're more likely to get an algorithm if you do the reductionist method, a parity if you get the reductionist method. Okay, so that's placed. Another piece that's not yellow. Corners match the front. It's going in the red direction. Out, up, in, up, out, down, in, down. Okay, look for a piece on top that's not yellow. Corners to match the front. Going in this direction. That's going to bring one of my yellows back to the top, but we're ignoring it until all of the yellows are back to the top, so we don't really care yet. Okay, another piece that's not yellow. Okay, this one's not correct, so if it's convenient to place two pieces at a time, I can do that. But line up the corners match the front. It's going in the red direction over here. Okay, so this piece is not correct, so I can displace this yellow again. I don't have to wait till the end to do it. I can do it whenever I want to. Just want to make sure you're not displacing a correct piece. Okay, and then piece on top that's not yellow, again. Lather, rinse, repeat. Corners match the front. It's going in the blue direction. Up, up, down, down. Okay, another piece that's not yellow, and yes, a yellow moved to the top, but we're still ignoring it till there's no more, till all of the yellows are on the top layer. So as long as there's a piece on top that's not yellow, that's the piece we're going to work with. So corners match the front. It's going in the green direction. Out, up, in, up, out, down, in, down. Piece on top that's not yellow. Corners match the front. It's going in this direction. Up, up, down, down. Okay, yellow found its way back to the top again, so we assess. Set the corners. These are correct. These are correct. We have one piece here that's not correct, so we're going to displace that. Okay. And the yellow is not correct, so I'll go ahead and displace this yellow as well. So I'm going to displace this piece and this piece so I can set it correctly. Up. Actually, no, I'm not going to do the center right now. I'll do the center later to show you how to do that. I'm going to make that its own special thing. So I'm going to displace this piece, slide up, and I'm doing that by displacing a yellow into that spot. And we're back to work with a piece that's not yellow until a yellow comes back to the top again. So corners to match the front. This direction. Out, up, in, second up, out, down, in, second down. Piece on top not yellow. Corners match the front. Up, up, down, down. Okay, yellow came back to the top, so now we assess. These pieces are correct, these pieces are correct, this one's correct, this one's correct. Good, we have another parity. On this cube we have a parity because this one wants to be here, this one wants to be here. Okay, we also have, this is not a parity, this is simply two edge pieces that need to be flipped. Okay, so I'm going to set those over here. We can do that later. I'm going to finish with this one. Opposite edges are done. Next thing to do is side edges. And with the formula P here, I'm only going to do the middle piece. So I'm going to line up the middle piece. The absolute center here is green. So I'm going to move it between the green corners. And so now all of the absolute center is lined up. White's face down. I'm going to look and see if this row, this is the only row I care about right now. So the piece right here should be green and orange, and it's not. So I'm going to displace this piece. Okay, you can displace the pieces next to it too, but I don't care about those. I only care about this piece. So I'm going to displace a yellow into that spot. So slide up, slide second up, slide down, slide a second down. Okay, so I displaced a yellow, moving the piece that was there to the top where I can place it correctly. Center is red, so this is the red side. It's going to the green side, so it's going to land over here. Away up, in up, away down, in down, and that piece is correct. Okay, keep doing that until there's no more yellows on top again, same as the other side. Okay, line up to the center, to the corners. It's going the orange direction. Out, up, in, up, out, down, in, down, and there we have it right there. Okay, corners match the front. Going in the orange, we're to go in the orange direction. So formula B, away from the action first up, into the action second up, continue with down, down. Okay, yellow came back to the top, so we assess. Okay, the top and the bottom layer are going to be done, and this middle area here, this one's correct, this one's correct, this one's correct, this one's correct. So that's done. So now we deal with the parodies. Okay, let's get the parodies out of the way for both of these, and then I'll show you what to do with the edges being, with two edges being flipped. It'll always be an even number of edges that are flipped. Can't be more than that. So I'm going to go color neutral now. For this one I'm going to go color neutral. For this one I'm going to stay yellow as top, so I can show you how to do it both ways. So for this one, I'm going to hold the cube so that the parody is on the front, and blue is now my top. Okay, so this slice, this single slice has 8 edge pieces on it, 4 edge pieces on it. Okay, 2 of them are correct and 2 of them are incorrect. Mathematically, that's not possible for this cube because you need to always move in 3 pieces. So the third piece, there are always 3 pieces out of whack. The third piece that you do not see is literally the piece that you do not see. It is the layer, is the slice that this is on, is a quarter turn off. So if you take this slice and rotate it a quarter turn either direction, looking just at this slice, now 1 piece is correct and 3 of them are not. And you probably have an algorithm for that, but I'm going to do it solving. I'm going to resolve my edges in this orientation, and the parody has poof disappeared. So this side is correct now. There's a piece that's not on the side, that's not in the right place. I'm going to displace this blue into this spot, which will move this piece to the top where I can work with it. So now my top color is blue. Formula B, look for the piece on top that's not the top color, line it up to the front. It's going in the white direction. Slide up, slide up, slide down, slide down. Poof. The corners match the front. It's going in this direction. Up, up, down, down. Piece on top that's not the top color. Line up the corners to match the front. It's going in this direction. Up, up, down, down. And it landed and set the top. And the parody's gone. Cage is complete. Now let's deal with this parody, but I'm going to do it by keeping my yellow to the top. So I'm going to move the parody to the front. Okay, so I'm going to do that by moving this piece where it wants to be, by moving it forward, and this piece will go out into land here. So I'm going to correct one of these two by doing the formula B, and that will move this piece out to the side. So up, up, down, down. Okay, that piece is correct. And where this landed, this is now the slice that's a quarter turn off. So I'm going to rotate this slice a quarter turn, either direction. Okay, and then I'm going to continue with let's place the pieces that are not yellow. Okay, corners match the front. It's going in this direction. out, up, in, up, out, down, in, down. That's placed. Look for another piece on top that's not the top color. Corners match the front. Going in this direction. Up, up, down, down. Piece on top is not the top color. Bring the corners to match the front. It's going to the blue direction. And we keep doing this until the yellow comes back to the top. Okay. And this time when it comes to the top, it will come to the top correctly. Corners match the front. It's going in the blue direction. From the B, out, up, in, up, out, down, in, down. Okay. Yellow came back to the top, set the top. And now the edges are done. And everything in that layer is correct. So this does still give me, these two pieces are correctly placed, but are they in the correct position, but the two pieces need to be flipped. What I showed you is how to flip, how to make the two corner pieces, the top front and the left front. Okay, and I can do that. I can set it up so that the pieces are in that direction, and then do the move, and then revert back to it. But for a newbie, it's too easy to get confused in the reset. So I'm going to flip these two pieces, and then I'm going to bring this piece to the front and flip these two pieces. Okay. Alternatively, I can flip these two pieces and then these two pieces, but either way, so let's do that. So I'm going to displace this piece into here, up, up, down, down, bring it to the front, and I'm going to place it incorrectly, another formula B, and doing that means that this piece is now correct. I flipped these two, so this is now correct. Now I'm going to flip these two by, again, I'm going to displace this piece, up, up, down, down, and then bring it to the front and place it correctly. So that's how you do what you do with a parity, and it's also what you do with two flipped edges that are not a parity. So so that's it. So that's the side edges done for all of these cubes. All that's left now for these ones is the centers for this one. There's 2 steps left for this one, and that is I'm going to do the side edges and then the centers. So I'll save this one for last because it's my favorite. Okay, one quick demonstration of how you do the centers, and then I'm going to save the rest of the centers for this evening when I come back. Okay, so you find a piece that's incorrect. Just pick a piece that's incorrect. Here's a yellow that's on the blue side. Okay, that piece is on your front face. You're going to move it to the top, so you have to hold the cube, rotate the cube, so that top is where it wants to land. Okay. Now this piece is going to land right here, so I can bring down either the orange, the red, or the white, depending on how I line up. The top layer is to line that up so it's advantageous. And then you follow this piece as to which the columns are. Okay. So I move it up, slide the top so it's in a different column. Now because it's a diagonal, I can't go this way because it's in the same column. Okay, moving it back. So I go up, slide the top to a different column, second up, which moves it to the back. Okay, and then reverse, and again, my whites are lined up to keep me track of which direction I was going. Set the top, and do that over and over and over again. Formula B, muscle memory kicks in. There's nothing to, you can do the cube completely mindless. Cubing for me is actually kind of a meditative technique for me now, because I don't have to focus on anything, and you just do the thing and the thing happens. So there's that. I think I'm going to play with this on Saturday. So if you have any, but I also promised Zoom to school bus for Saturday, so we'll see how that goes. Assuming I can still use Studio, because the Studio still works, which is supposed to stop working yesterday, but it just says they're discontinuing the support for Studio, so we'll see how that works. In the meantime, this has been fun. Thank you for joining me, you guys. I appreciate you sharing your morning with me. If you ever had any questions or you just want to chat, I'm here. It doesn't have to be about cubes. You can tell me where you're from. You can tell me what your pet's name is. You can tell me anything you want. And this is I'm here to have fun. That's all I'm here for. So go have a wonderful day. Drink some water. Get some sunlight if you can, and be happy. And I'll see you guys later. Bye. What do you want to say? Bye. Anybody want to say bye? 3, 2, 1. Okay.